Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into Tutorial 6. We're talking about breaking into the absolute upper echelon of the economy. If you're ready to finally ditch that basic resource grind and start commanding some serious capital, well, you are definitely in the right place.
Look, you've mastered the basics, right? You've built up your early game wealth, got your standard production lines humming along beautifully, but scaling up from here, that means understanding the most exclusive club in the entire game. We're talking about making the jump from a local business owner to a bona fide tycoon by mastering the district market.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover what districts actually are, the exclusive district market, how to navigate the order book, placing your orders, winning the arbitrage game, and finally, claiming your reward.
All right, part 1. What exactly are districts? Before we can hit the markets, we absolutely have to understand the real estate producing these goods. So a district isn't just your standard plot of land. It's a massive combined zone. Think sprawling aerospace complexes or enormous megamalls. These things are absolute behemoths of production. They do require specific terrains to build, but, fair warning here, they come with a seriously heavy monthly taxation burden. The government always gets its cut, right? So you definitely don't want to build these lightly.
And the cost of entry, it is incredibly steep. To create a district, you aren't just buying a piece of land, you actually have to merge plots using a strict Fibonacci sequence. That means you need exactly 5, 8, 13, or 21 vacant plots of the exact same terrain type. On top of that, you're looking at a $1 million base cost, and every single time you merge, you get hit with a 1.25x escalating multiplier. It's a massive capital sink, which honestly is exactly why the goods they produce are so insanely valuable.
Just look at the exclusivity of these outputs. An industrial zone on mountain terrain churns out steel and aluminum. A shopping mall on prairie land, that creates electronics packages and fashion bundles. These are high-value, exclusive end products. You literally just cannot manufacture these on your standard single-plot businesses. Moving on to part 2, the exclusive district market. Because once you produce these high-tiered goods, they need a place to be traded. Now you've got to completely separate these two systems in your head. The standard commodity exchange you're used to, the one where you trade basic inputs like wood, iron ore, and apples, that is not going to help you here. District goods are just way too valuable and complex to get mixed in with basic raw materials. Because of that, the district market operates on its very own dedicated order book. It completely isolates the heavy hitters from the basic raw material traders. And this is actually great because it protects the high-end economy from all the noise and volatility of the early game. So when you open the district market, you're looking at a carefully curated list of the game's most premium assets.
Which brings us to part 3, navigating the order book. Getting a handle on how this specialized book operates is basically what separates the novices from the master traders.
You're probably wondering, okay, how do I actually trade these exclusive goods without losing my shirt? Because the volume here can be quite a bit lower than with basic commodities, those bid-ask spreads can be significantly wider. To protect your capital, you really have to master the two primary order types. It completely comes down to limit versus market orders. You want to use limit orders to strictly control your margins. You literally name the exact price you are willing to pay or accept, and then you wait. On the flip side, you only want to use market orders when you desperately need instant liquidity. Why? Because a market order automatically matches you with the best available price on the book, which, if that spread is wide, might really not be in your favor. All right, part 4, placing your district orders. The game's UI is super powerful, but it definitely requires some precision. So here's your exact mechanical sequence. First, navigate to the dedicated district market menu. Then, select your premium item, like steel or electronics. Choose whether you're buying or selling. Pick your order mode, so limit or market, and finally input your quantity and lock in your price. It's super simple to execute, but trust me, the strategy behind the numbers you input is everything. And that brings us to the really fun stuff in part 5, winning the arbitrage game. Anyone can click buy or sell, but arbitrage, that is an art form. Let's pull back the curtain a little bit on the game's AI and look at NPC cash tier behaviors. The massive non-player corporations populating the world? They don't just trade randomly. Their trading logic is entirely driven by how much cash they currently hold in their reserves. Understanding this is basically your ultimate arbitrage hack.
The real opportunity here lies in their extremes. NPCs constantly cycle through desperation and abundance, and you can capitalize on both ends of that spectrum. When an NPC is in the hard high state, their cash is literally overflowing, so they'll buy up inputs aggressively just to draw that cash down. But when they hit hard low, they enter a full-on emergency state. They need cash immediately, just to survive.
Check out this stark contrast here. Normally, an NPC absolutely refuses to sell an item below what it costs them to make it, plus a 2% markup. But the second they hit that hard_low emergency state, that rule completely goes out the window. They will dump their inventory at whatever the current market value happens to be, entirely ignoring their own production costs just to get their hands on instant liquidity.
Listen, if you only take away one single strategy from this explainer, let it be this exact arbitrage loop. You monitor the market for massive dumps of premium goods, because that tells you there's a desperate NPC in a hard low state. You swoop in, scoop up that underpriced inventory using limit buy orders, and then you just patiently list it at a premium to sell to a totally different NPC that just hit their hard high cash ceiling. It is without a doubt the ultimate wealth generator.
Finally, Part 6, Claiming Your Reward. You've got the mechanics down, you know the market hacks, so now it's time to get paid. Now keep in mind, the game is not going to hold your hand here. Unlike those early game prompts, you actually have to actively choose to start Tutorial 6 from your settings menu, and it'll only even be available if you fully completed Tutorial 5. Basically, you have to prove you're actually ready for the big leagues. Once you activate it, just follow these precise, chronological steps in your tutorial tracker. You're going to apply everything we've just talked about. You'll learn the district basics, open up that specialized market, browse the local order book, successfully buy and sell an item, and then actually apply that arbitrage strategy we covered. And for pulling all of that off, completing this tutorial nets you exactly 15 trophies. That's a massive boost to your account standing, basically proving to the server that you are a legitimate player operating in the high-tier economic zones.
So you've got the knowledge, you understand the mechanics, and you have the ultimate NPC arbitrage strategy in your back pocket. The only question left is, are you ready to log in, track down those desperate NPCs, and completely monopolize the district market? Get out there and start building that empire.